That's not Olympic, Mark. You should know by now which one that is. Good evening, guys. Welcome. Welcome. It is once again Friday evening. It is 7 p.m., and that can only mean one thing. It is time for our weekly 1 hour live stream. We've got a bunch of folks already in here in the chat. We've got Wolf, we've got Karen, we've got Max, and Age Forgotten. Welcome. We've got Aaron, we've got Steve, we've got Mark. We got a packed show. Bry's here tonight. We haven't seen you around in a while, Bry. How are you? How's everyone's week been? I hope you guys have had a good week. Um, Holidays are coming up. I hope you guys are getting ready for that stuff. So, guys, before we start getting underway with all of our topics for tonight, got a few shout outs I want to hand out real quick. First and foremost, uh, just a few comments about last week's stream with Tim Nesmith from the USS Kid. Guys, that exceeded my expectations on a level I can't even describe. I was so happy with how that turned out. I hope you guys really enjoyed it as well. Tim, if you're out there and you see this, I thank you again so much for coming on and talking with us about the ship, her history, the dry docking, all of it. I really, really appreciate it. And we will continue to keep talking about Kid, of course. I'm a champion of the ship. I support the cause. Few fun facts about that live stream, guys. On Kid's YouTube channel, they've streamed They've live streamed 26 times on YouTube on their YouTube channel. Our live stream with Tim last week on Kid's channel is already like in the top 15 most viewed live streams on their channel. So I'm really happy about that. We got eyeballs on the museum, and that was the goal. And yeah, I'm just so pleased about that. And between our regular viewers here combined with Kids' regular viewers, they got $150 worth of super chats that went all straight to the museum. So, guys, round of applause to you, everyone who attended. It was just a great, great night. And I hope we can get Tim back on in the future. I will definitely reach out to him and see if he wants to come back on again. So before we also get into some other things, a couple of shout outs for some other museums as well. I'm sure you guys noticed there were some other museum ships that were participating in the live chat. One of them being, his name is Shane Stevenson at the Buffalo Naval Park. And that is their website there. They have Sullivan's over there, which is one of Kid's sister ships. They have USS Little Rock, the Croaker, which is a Gato class sub, which is a sister ship to the Drum and the Cabala. And there is a fourth vessel there. I do forget the name of that vessel. I apologize for that. But yeah, they've got 4 vessels in total there, guys, that you can go and see. If you live in that area near Buffalo, New York, or if you're going out that way at some point in the future, you definitely should go and check out their museum. Wolf says Little Rock, the last Cleveland class. Wolf didn't know they had a 4th. I think it's like a PT boat or something, Wolf. Don't hold me to that. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, they have 4 ships there. They also have an active YouTube channel over there. That is their YouTube at Buffalo Naval Park. Shane over at the at Buffalo Naval Park. If you happen to see this, or if someone who knows Shane sees this, pass it along to him. Shane, I sent you an email recently. I got your email from Tim over at Kid, and I did attempt to contact you via email. If you didn't see that or it's not in your inbox, check your spam in case it went to spam. And also, Tim has my full blessing to give you my contact information as well. So if you see this, let's talk. I'd love to do to have a little chat with you about you guys' museum. Another museum that was in the chat was the USS Slater, which is in Albany, New York. They were in the chat as well. And by the way, guys, I've subscribed to Slater's and Buffalo Naval Park's YouTube channels. They've got some really awesome content on their channels as well. So if you have not subscribed to them, you may want to do that. I subscribed after the live stream last week to both their channels, and I've started watching some of their content. And this is where you can find Slater on YouTube. So go subscribe to these guys, and Slater and the Buffalo Naval Park. Give them some love. Steve, let's see what Steve says. PTF-17, a nasty class patrol boat. Is that really a thing? Is that an actual class, the nasty class? I've never heard of that before. I almost forgot to mention, joining us on the shelf this week, we have the Big U, SS United States. We'll be talking about her news first. We've got Kid right there on the center shelf, and the New Orleans right next to her. And on the bottom shelf, the RMS Mauritania. Steve says, yes, that is indeed a thing. The nasty class. Okay. All right. I can't say I've heard of that before. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into our first topic of the evening. And let's see. Share screen. Here we go. So you can see what we're going to be talking about here first. There she is, guys. The SS United States. Big news came out Wednesday. And I'm going to pull up the email that the Conservancy sent out that I'm going to read to you guys real quick. It's not a very long one. But anyway, let's see. SS United States Conservancy has received word from Okaloosa County that it is on track to fulfill the necessary requirements by local, state, and federal agencies to move the SS United States from Pier 82 in South Philadelphia to a docking area in Mobile, Alabama, where preparations will begin to ready the ship to become the world's largest artificial reef. Let's see. This could occur as early as next week, depending upon weather conditions and other factors. While subject to change, operations to move America's flagship will likely begin Thursday, November 14th, and will continue through the day on Friday, November 15th, 2024. The complex operation will be conducted in phases. November 14th. Tugboats will secure themselves to the SS United States during high tide and begin maneuvering the vessel to the north side of the slip and secure her at Pier 80. November 15th. Tugboats will begin maneuvering the SS United States into the Delaware River pre-dawn in preparation for low tide. When the ship is passing under the various bridges, Walt Whitman Bridge, Commodore Barry Bridge, and the Delaware Memorial Bridge along her route, the Department of Transportation will be coordinating bridge closures. Please note, this is a tentative schedule and dates. Times and other logistics are subject to change. We will continue to keep you informed as plans advance. As you may have seen on social media, late last month, Okaloosa County announced that it is shifting the location of the ship's forthcoming remediation work from Norfolk, Virginia, to Mobile, Alabama. Additional details about Ocalusa's announcement can be found below, and they give you some links and all that good stuff. So there you have it. Latest news on the Big U. Thoughts? What are you guys thinking? I'm going to catch up with chat real quick. Age Forgotten says it's going to be hard when that day comes, and unfortunately that day is coming very soon. Mark says long toe. Max says very. Well, here's something interesting and worth a note. Wolf says at least she'll get some nice views of the East Coast on her last days before or above the surface. Aaron, I think I am sad, but no surprise. Yeah, I mean, I've honestly moved into the acceptance stage of it, guys. There's nothing else you can really do except for accept it. You know, it is what it is now. But let's say, so she's leaving. Let's say everything goes according to schedule. She leaves on the 14th. I don't know how long it's going to take for the ship to get to Mobile, but let's say she leaves out on the 15th. Let's say she gets to Mobile sometime the following weekend, like say Friday the 22nd or Saturday the 23rd. Well, those dates really stick out for me because as you guys know, I am going on a cruise in a few weeks, my very first cruise. And guess what city my cruise is leaving out of? If you guessed Mobile, you guessed correctly. Steve, when are we going to hook up to see the Alabama and the Big U? ASAP. Matt, welcome. Glad you could join us. Hoping someone will do drone footage of the towing for those of us who can't keep following live. You will be able to follow live there, or you will at least be able to track the vessels that are towing her, much like they did with Kidd. When Kidd went to dry dock, you could, there's an app, I forget what the app is called, but there's several different apps you can use to track vessels. You couldn't track the Kidd, but you could track the vessel that was towing her. So we knew where Kidd was the whole time. I would imagine when they go to tow the Big U, that same sort of information will be available, and you will be able to track where she's at. Let's see. Yes, Steve says, Mobile question mark. Yes, guys, I am leaving on a cruise in a few weeks, and that cruise leaves out of Mobile in 2 weeks. Just saying, if the Big U is in Mobile when I'm getting ready to leave, I will get as close to the ship as I legally can if she is there, and finally be able to see the ship with my own eyes. This is what I record most of my videos with. It's my GoPro Hero 12. Like I said, I will get as close to her as I legally can, and finally see the Big U with my own eyes. And yes, Steve, depending on how long she's there, I imagine she's going to be there for a while. You might want to start saving up for a trip. Maybe we can all do a big meetup, and we can go to the Alabama one day. We can check out the Big U, again, as close as we can legally get to it, because no tours or anything have been announced, and I don't know if it's not like a dry dock tour like what I went on when I went to Texas. You know, they're repairing the ship. Whereas with the Big U, they're going to be essentially tearing things off of the ship. We know that the funnels are coming off the ship. We know the radar mast is coming off of the ship. So I don't know if they're going to be willing to allow people like in the shipyard to get close to the ship. I would imagine probably not. Age Forgotten says, did they say a year for the process with preparations? They did not specify a timeline as far as I'm aware. Excuse me. Hopefully, what I always hoped for, and don't know if this is going to happen or not, but what I had always hoped for was they could do something temporary before when the ship gets there. Let's call it like SS United States, the final tour, and you let people go on the ship and walk the ship essentially one last time. Do it for maybe a month or so. Let's see. So anyway, that's what's going on with the Big U. Oh, Steve has posted the link that you can track the Big U via the internet or whatever app once she begins her journey. So that's what I've got for the Big U. Let's go ahead and shift gears here. Let me bring up some other photos here. If my crappy PC will cooperate. Let's pivot over to this guy right here. Let's see. Share screen. There we go. I like that. I like that one better. So, BB-35. Now, I do need to find the article. So, if you guys remember a couple of weeks ago, we talked about, and by the way, these are photos from when I went and do the dry dock. She's obviously out of dry dock now, as you guys know. So, these photos are a bit dated. Age, this is not a destroyer. This is actually the last dreadnought battleship in existence. USS Texas BB-35. She was a New York class ship. She is the only vessel left in the world that participated in both World War I and World War II. She was at the Normandy invasion as well. Sorry. Okay. No, you're good. That's what we're here for. We're here to, if we can help you, educate you on the ships. That's what we're here for. No apologies needed. Let me pull up the article. So if you guys remember last time we talked about Texas, the deal for her to stay in Galveston was essentially dead. Well, not so fast. So let's see. Here's another one. If I can pull up the article here. I'm not going to read this entire article, guys, because it's really, really long. But anyway, here we go. And this article is a bit dated as well. This came out on November 1st. We didn't cover it last week because, of course, we had Tim on and our focus was strictly kid. But we're going to talk about it a little bit now. So it starts off, neither side wants to see the battleship Texas leave Galveston. Galveston Wharf's port director and CEO Roger Rees said last week. However, the parties negotiating a long-term lease for the 112-year-old U.S. Navy warship had reached a stalemate. On October 22nd, the Wharf's board voted unanimously to end negotiations for now with the Battleship Texas Foundation, citing a handful of unresolved issues with the operating agreement the two parties had been negotiating for a year. The vote signaled the end of a chapter, but hardly brought down the curtain on the saga, which is interesting because the way that other article had read, like, deal was dead, they don't want her there, she has to go, case closed, end of discussion. Now this one's saying not so fast. No, Steve, no. Let's see. The Battleship Foundation looks forward to Monday special meeting called by the Wars Board to resume the conversation for a possible agreement for berthing the Battleship Texas at a location under the control of the board. And Steve, when you come down here to see Alabama and the Big U, I'll show you some real restaurants. Blah, 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 blah. Technically, the USS Texas belongs to the Texas Parks and Wildlife, which granted the foundation a 99-year lease in 2019. Guys, I got to stop just for a minute. My throat is drying out really, really bad. I need a drink. I'll be right back. Okay, that's better. No, Aaron, I do not. Anyway, let me start that part over. USS Texas belongs to Texas Parks and Wildlife, which granted the foundation a 99-year lease in 2019. According to Reese, the length of the proposed lease with the port was one of the wharf's board's main sticking points. Concerned about the foundation's long-term financial ability to maintain the ship, trustees pushed for a modest 10-year lease with an option to renew. The foundation favored a term closer to 40 or 50 years. Skipping ahead, blah, 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 blah. As proposed, the operating agreement would have allowed the foundation to dock the USS Texas around piers 19 to 21. That location became controversial over the summer after the neighboring Katie's Seafood Restaurant and Market started a petition urging the port to move the ship elsewhere, claiming mooring it there would cut off Katie's picturesque view of the harbor. But the board is far more worried about safety than public opinion, Rees maintains. Skipping ahead. Let's see. The foundation did agree to pay for a third-party engineering firm to evaluate the design for the ship's future moorings and promised to provide the Wharves Board with additional financial information. After the vote, he added, possible investors emerged who were clear that any donation would be contingent on the battleship remaining in Galveston. If it's not in Galveston, then they're probably not interested in investing in it. I'm checking up with chat at the same time, guys. Skipping over a bit of this. The Wharves Board and Foundation have conservatively another year to work things out before the battleship is ready to go anywhere, because of course the restoration is still going on. Her local supporters can take heart in the fact that she does seem fated to end up on the island somewhere. The state has invested nearly $60 million to protect this true historical monument to American exceptionalism, and she deserves a permanent place where the most Texans possible visit her every year, Texas State Senator Mays Middleton from Galveston said on social media 2 days after the vote. Meanwhile, the restorations continue. According to the foundation's website, crews have recently focused on repairing damaged steel on the stern, replacing the wood decking on the bow, and priming the triangle deck area for a new paint job. The foundation will resume opening the ship for behind-the-scenes guided tours later this month, which they have. You can schedule those. More on that in a minute. The November 24th tour is sold out, but Sunday-only spots are available through April 2025. And that's the gist of what's going on with Texas. So, let's move on to, oh, look, there's me. So again, remember, these pictures are dated. They're a year old. So when we went on to the dry dock tour, this was like the entrance. You can see where I'm moving the mouse at. This was, it's a floating dry dock, and you walked onto the dry dock right here. So just explaining that for some context. Concerning these tours, yeah, well, Tex looks nothing like this now. No, she looks way different, way better. So essentially, what they're doing now is Texas is doing what they're calling restoration tours. And unlike the dry dock tours were $150. The restoration tours are half of that. And another difference is, forgot where I was going to go with that. At the dry dock tours, you were not allowed to take any videos whatsoever. You could take photos, but you could not take any videos, and you could not go on the ship. With the restoration tours, the price is half of what the dry dock tours were at $75 per person. You can take photo and video, and you will be going on the ship this time. Let's see. Aaron, look how much plating was being replaced. Wolf Cool, you can still see where the secondaries at her bow were prior to one of her many refits. H says that they were really doing their best to preserve an old vessel. And H says, yes, that seems fair. Concerning what you're getting in the restoration tour, guys, that is it's a pretty good possibility that I may find my way back to Galveston and do one of these restoration tours. Again, the price is half of what the dry dock tours were. You can go on the ship this time, and you can do photo and video while you're on the ship. Stupid ESPN app. Steve says that is actually her torpedo hull, secondary hull. Wolf, I might have to see her. I think you should go see her, Wolf. But I am strongly considering, that's a panorama that I did. That's why it looks like it was taken through a fisheye lens. Let's see. This is a good question here. So, Steve, it depends on how much time you have. I mean, you could hit a crap ton of ships right here along the Gulf Coast. So let's say these tours that Texas is doing, they are only on Sundays. So let's say you go to Galveston, I don't know, a day or two before, and you do this tour. Well, after that, you can trek over to Baton Rouge. Kid probably will not be back from dry dock by April 2025. So you could go to the Kid Museum, but you won't see the ship, which I know, obviously, I know a lot of people, that's going to defeat the purpose, but you'd still be supporting the museum, and you can see the good artifacts that they have there. You can meet Tim Nesmith. You can meet Park Stevenson. So there's still some win-wins for reasons to go to the museum, even though the ship is not there. After that, Mobile at the most is a 3-4 hour drive. Well, probably a 4-hour drive from Baton Rouge. So then you've got Battleship Memorial Park, which is the home for USS Alabama and USS Drum, and the Big U will be somewhere in the Mobile area at the same time. So there's something else too, Steve, that I would highly encourage you to do. I mean, I know you've been in New Orleans before, but if you've not been to the World War II Museum in the last few years, I would highly, highly recommend you visit the National World War II Museum. It is easily one of the best museums in the United States. So I would highly recommend that. Steve says, I would make time to go see her. So depends on how long you can get away from home and, you know, what your budget is. Those are the things you would have to take a look at. Okay. Steve says, wrong one. Let me highlight that. 2003 was the last time you visited the World War II Museum. It has changed drastically since then, Steve. The museum itself is an entire day. You have to be there from open to close to take in as much as possible, and you're still not going to get everything in. So you definitely want to put the National World War II Museum on your list, without a doubt. Going to take another swig of drink, guys. Just give me a sec. I don't know why my throat's drying out so much tonight. I went 3 hours with Tim last week, and I don't know, I might have had 2 or 3 swigs of drink. That, of course, guys, what you're looking at right here is my hand touching the original 1912 keel of the USS Texas. That part of the ship is still original. It's as old as Titanic. Let's see. American Loyalists. So you're planning to visit the SS United States when she arrives. When she gets to Mobile, Loyalist, as I will get as close to her as I am legally allowed to be. So, yes. To answer your question, yes. I will try and get footage, of course, as well. So you guys will see genuine footage of the SS United States on this channel. As close as I can, as I am legally allowed to get to her. Well, the keel of old Tex is so cool and so awesome. That ship, that picture right there, it probably looks so insignificant, guys. But think of it, that's the original keel of the ship. And I had to squat walk under the ship because these blocks here that hold her up, I mean, obviously they support the weight of the ship, but it's not very tall. You have to squat walk underneath the middle of the ship. And mind you, I've got 27,000 tons of Dreadnought battleship directly above my head right here. It was interesting. Loyalist says, I won't be around for her departure. I am certain that cameras and a lot of the media in Philadelphia are going to follow the ship for as long as possible. So I wouldn't be too worried about not being able to see it in any capacity. I mean, of course, you will be able to see it on the news. Whether or not you can see it locally, well, you know, unfortunately, I will not be able to do that. I will, of course, see her once she gets to Mobile. Yeah, Steve. Yeah, it will be covered live by media. I am certain. Yeah, absolutely. Because if you guys remember earlier in the year when BB-62 USS New Jersey went to and from dry dock, they the media was all over that. I was watching news helicopter footage of New Jersey crossing under the Walt Whitman Bridge, and coincidentally, they passed right by the Big U going to and from. At some point, you got to go to USS Olympia, Pennsylvania landing. Penn's Landing is cheap. Loyalist, was that you that posted pictures of that ship in my Discord a while back? Is that you? It was you. Okay. What I would like to do, Loyalist, at some point, maybe we could do this next week. If you will give me permission, I would like to show some of your photos here on the live stream of the Olympia. I won't show any of the photos that have you in them. I don't show pictures of of people other than me. So, but yeah, if you would give me permission to do that, I would like to show some of your photos on the live stream. And if you're able to attend, you could tell us about them. You did post a picture of the big U. It's you, and I guess that's one of your friends that's in that photo. It's like you're like on each a corner, because I was just looking at the pictures today. In fact, it's funny that you bring them up. It was him, you, and I guess it's your friend or something, and the big U was behind you guys. Oh, it's your brother. Okay, nice. There's the rudder. Fun fact about the rudder, guys, if you don't remember the story, the rudder here on Texas will forever remain in that position. The reason being, as I understand it, the story goes, the last command that was ever given to the ship when she was still in service was they positioned the rudder that way to make a turn, I guess, to dock or something. And there's me touching the rudder of Old Tex. Yeah, so Wolf's got it right here. That was the last position it was ordered to be in while she was in service. And that's the way I understood the story as well. Okay, so let's see. Do we have any more? Yeah, we got a bunch more. And again, she looks vastly different this right now. This was actually looking up into the hull. They had a at the very bottom of the ship, they had a cutout. I don't remember what it was for. They explained it to us, but you could actually stick your head up into the hull. And I'm shining the light from my phone right here so I could see what it looks like. And there's the front of the bow of BB-35. Yeah, Steve. Yeah, I think it's 10 or 11 degrees, Steve. I forget. They told us. I forget exactly what it was, but essentially, yeah, 10 or 11 degrees. And there's me in front of the hull. Oh, and that brings us to the end of those. So that's what we've got for Texas, guys. We have a little bit of footage here that I wanted to show you guys. This has kind of been long overdue. I've been meaning to show this to you guys for a while. Let me get to and Wolf, you don't want to miss this. Let's see, where is it? Here we go. Let's see. I need to move this over. Bear with me a sec, guys. Okay. Let's see. Share screen. Here we go. Wolf, are you paying attention? You don't want to miss this. All right. Here we go. Let's see. Look at all these names. Renshaw, Schroeder, Casson Young, Rowe, Charette, Cushing, Jarvis. What are these names, guys? Sullivan's, Black, Johnston, Kidd. What do these names have in common? Anyone know? Wolf says 2 of those are destroyers. Wait. Those are 2. Oh, yes, loyalists. They are definitely ships. They are most definitely ships. Wolf says they are destroyers. Wolf, are they all destroyers? Are all of those ships destroyers? That's the question. Steve, all named after World War II casualties. I mean, some of them are a dead giveaway. Wolf, he believes they are all destroyers. So, let's find out. What do they all have in common, these names? Well, there's our answer. The Fletcher Class destroyer, guys. That is what they all have in common. They are all Fletcher Class destroyers. The Fletcher is now joining the digital fleet here. And you can take a look at the bridge on Fletcher here. Look right here, guys. Look at this area right here. Look at the bridge. You can see how it's rounded off. This is the Fletcher, the actual Fletcher. You see how it's kind of rounded off right there. And it's kind of, it doesn't extend all the way to the front. Now, let me show you guys Kidd here. So let's go big. Now, if you look at Kidd, look right here at the bridge. You can see this is the bridge right here. And you've got, a deck that is wedge-shaped going all around the bridge. Now, if we go back to Fletcher here, you can see where it's different. Sullivan's would have the same bridge as Kidd because this is actually a Sullivan's model, as you guys know, that I converted to Kidd. So, yes. The Fletcher is now going to be part of our digital fleet going forward. Of course, we're going to look at her in action for a bit. And if you can see on the side profile, it very much looks exactly, well, not exactly, but it looks a whole hell of a lot like Kidd. Wolf said, here, that's a nice comment, Wolf. All of the early Fletcher destroyers had that round bridge design. Yes, and you can see the later ones like Kidd and Sullivan's, they had a different bridge design. And if you also look, when we come back around and get this profile of from the side again, I'm gonna pause it when we get it just right. Okay, look right here. These are torpedo launchers. And these are also torpedo launchers. And this is in 43. Kidd, in her, and as Tim had told us last week, the interpretive year for the actual ship, USS Kidd, is August of 1945. Well, in August of 1945, Kidd did not have torpedo launchers up here in the front. And that is reflected in this model as well. So let me go back big again. And you can see that here. You see she's got the aft torpedoes here, but she does not have the forward ones right there. They were replaced. So anyway, those are some of the differences between the ships. And I'm going to let the video play out now. I just wanted to point out some of those things. So, AAA guns forward. I believe so, Steve. Did Tim tell it? I can't remember. Tim dropped so much information on us last week, guys. I had so many questions for Tim that I did not end up asking because I got so captivated by all the information that he was dropping on us. I forgot a lot of the questions I wanted to ask him. Steve says, I think that's what he said. I think so too. I could probably reach out to him and ask him. But yeah, looking at it from the side like that, I can see kid all over this thing. Of course, with that bridge being the difference. So we're just going to kind of freestyle it here for the last few minutes, guys. We got about 12, 13 minutes left before we call it a wrap for this week. Somebody asked me. Yeah, it's on the video. You can always go back and watch the live stream from last week. I did divide that video into chapters, by the way, guys. We've got introduction. We've got oh goodness. I divided it in from introduction to her service history, museum ship, and dry docking. So we can always go back and look at that. To answer that question, Steve, I would imagine is going to be in the service history section. That's where I think that would be at. Wolf says only 4 Fletchers left. Who can name the 4 remaining Fletcher class destroyers that are left? You can make a lot of shorts from that video too, right? We have a super chat. Aaron with the $20. Aaron, I almost forgot the stream software. No, you did not forget, Aaron. Thank you so much, my friend. And guys, by the way, if I didn't mention this before, the software we're using is StreamYard, and it was actually Tim Nesmith with the kid that brought this software to my attention. Because of that, that's how we were able to do a live stream without a single glitch or issue last week. As you guys know, and I know Steve will remember this too, the first few times we had Steve come on the show here, there was always some type of issue, and I would have to constantly reconfigure OBS every time he would come on, even though I didn't change anything. And it was extremely frustrating. So in meeting with Tim and in our talks to set up last week's stream, he had mentioned that Shane at the Buffalo Naval Park Museum used StreamYard, and that's what they were going to be using with Kid if they ever start live streaming more. So that's what I looked into. I practiced using the software and made sure I was extremely familiar with the software leading up to last week's stream. And yeah, Steve, OBS sucks. Yeah. So in preparation for last week's stream, I made sure everything was ready to go. And that's how we were able to hit it off without a hitch. And Steve, I'll go ahead and share this now. You and I are planning a live stream soon, and it's going to be a dual live stream because I couldn't stream to multiple channels with OBS. With StreamYard, it is so much easier to do, guys. I am in love with this software, like really. It is extremely user friendly. So it costs money, but in my opinion, it's money well worth it. So thank you, Aaron, again so much, my friend. I truly appreciate you doing that. And we got enough to pay for this software for several months now. So we won't be going back to OBS anytime soon. This is so much easier to use, and I'm just a real big fan of this software. So before that, I asked the question: what are the names of the 4 surviving Fletcher class ships? I believe Wolf got it. Let's see. Let's see what Wolf said. Kidd, Cass and Young, Velos, and let's see. Yes, and he mentioned the Sullivans. That is correct. Let's see. Steve got 3 out of the 4: Cass and Young, Kidd, and Sullivans. And Steve also, OBS sucks. Yes. Okay, and here's an answer I was also looking for. Wolf, this is really what I was looking for. Kidd, Charlotte, also known as Velos, the Sullivans, and Cass and Young. Actually, it was Charette. C-H-A, I'll type it in the chat. Velos is how the ship is known now, but the 4th surviving ship, the original name was Charette, and I said it wrong in the damn chat. Let me delete my stupid comment. Let me spell that correctly. That ship is not in the United States. That ship is in Greece, and it was either donated or sold to their Navy. It stayed in service a whole lot longer than the other 3 surviving Fletchers. And the Greek Navy renamed her to Velos. Yes, Steve, here you go. Yes, dual Blue Ribbon channel and All American Travels live stream. Yep, we will be live streaming to both. And Steve and I we have a topic in mind that we discussed a few days ago, and it's going to be sometime next month where we are going to we're going to have a dual live stream just like we did last week with Tim at the Kid. Steve says, I think I have a photo of Queen Mary in Valparaiso on her last great cruise with an old Fletcher class. I would be very interested in seeing that, Steve. But yeah, like I said, Steve and I do have a topic. Not going to reveal what that topic is yet, but I think you guys are going to really dig it. Doesn't matter if you prefer ocean liners or if you prefer warships. I think this is a topic everyone is going to be interested in. So stay tuned for that. Oh, I just torped the crap out of that ship. Don't mess with the Fletchers. Which brings me to another thing. I forgot to mention this last week as well, guys. So, as you guys know, the holidays are coming up. They're right around the corner. Thanksgiving is a few weeks away. The schedule, the live stream schedule is going to be changing a little bit in the coming weeks. So next Friday, we are going to have our regular live stream like we always do. However, on the week before Thanksgiving, of course, Thanksgiving is the last week of the month. The week before Thanksgiving, the live stream will be Thursday, November 21st, not Friday. Remember, Thursday, November 21st. There's 2 reasons for that. Friday, the 22nd, is when I am leaving to go on my cruise, so I can't live stream on the 22nd. So for that reason, Thursday, November 21st. And the other reason for that is Thursday, November 21st is the 108th anniversary of Britannic. So that live stream is going to be just that, the 108th anniversary of Britannic. And I know it's been a long time since I finished it, and a lot of people may have forgotten, but on that stream, guys, my dream finally becomes a reality. On the live stream, Olympic, Titanic, Britannic. The entire Olympic class is going to be on the shelf for that live stream. So I am super excited about that. So mark your calendars for that one. No live stream the week of Thanksgiving. So we've got 2 more live streams before Thanksgiving. So keep that in mind. And of course, I will be keeping you guys up to date on the channel with that as well. Wolf says, wow, can't believe it's already almost that time. Yes, sir. It most certainly is, Wolf. So we're getting close to the end time, guys. A lot of these age jokes. Steve says, Steve is calling someone an old fart. There is only one old fart in existence, Steve, I'll have you know. And that is the SS fart. Don't ever forget that. She is the only old fart in existence. Okay. So that is almost everything I think that pretty much is going to conclude everything I've got for you guys this week. So I just told you guys what the latest schedule for the live stream is. She is definitely old. Our content schedule is, as always, you know, the live stream schedule for the next 2 weeks. Our videos of the week are every Friday morning at 7 a.m. The video shorts are Monday through Friday, and they are random videos. They come out at 11 o'clock Central Time every week. So, let's see. Wolf, whatever happened to the SS fart? Can anyone answer Wolf's question? Whatever happened to the SS fart? Was she scrapped? Did she spring a leak? I mean, yeah, loyalist, if you are still here, get with me in the Discord, and we can talk about what I asked you about earlier. If you'd be fine with us showing some of your photos on the live stream. Steve says the SS fart is still in service in Finland. That is interesting. Who would have thought that? Anyway, yep, that's going to wrap it up for this week, guys. Hope you all have a great weekend. And we will see you back next Friday at our same good old regular time. So until then, you guys know the drill. As always, until the next time, what do we do? What do we say? Anybody know? Of course you know. It is, of course, drive safely.